cloud. What does that mean? Okay. All right. I got it.
$9.09 if you want, or just carry on as
It's
we
recording.
are.
So yeah,
Cool.
yeah, that's cool. So yeah, so I'm excited. I was excited to see those clips of you on those K2s, and I like that you tagged them in your story too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they've been doing a lot of stuff on Instagram, but nothing aggressive. So I was interested to see if they'd like pick up on it or.
They occasionally put out an aggressive clip, and you think like, what is
What's
it you're
going
trying
on?
to market?
Yeah, because
you don't sell anything.
That Juice Money or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's still skating them.
Yeah.
But he's skating like the Uptowns.
With the soles on.
varsity soles. Yeah. So he's obviously still getting product. And then that Eric Bill that I spoke to, he said, I'm not.
There's the other guy. There's a British guy, Rich Parker, who skates a lot of vert.
Yeah, he's a vert.
He's got like custom K2s with his name on and stuff like that.
But this guy said, I haven't heard from them in ages. They haven't said you're not on the team anymore. They haven't said you are. But he still keeps getting skates in the mail. So
weird.
I mean, sure. I guess if they want to keep sending them to me.
Surely they're going to run out eventually. They're going to run out of skates.
I wonder, I wonder if he even likes them, but he seems to. But yeah, I was just intrigued because they felt so good with big wheels, but it was like, can they feel that bad for aggressive that hardly anyone skates them? But then I also thought after that, I think it's because they're quite uncool, really, aren't they? Like these days, maybe.
I think they look fantastic, but
I think they look good. Yeah, but
for the record, K2, if anyone there sees this and wants to send me skates, please, I'll give you my address.
Yeah,
I can be like not.
I really like the Uptowns.
Yeah, those look good. It's a good colorway too. It's like
really comfy. Bit too stiff, but
that's the thing. Like all like them and rollerblade, them as in K2, not them skates. But the skates are high quality and really comfortable, or generally really comfortable out of the box. But they've got more money to spend, I guess, and more experience, more technology.
I think it's crazy. I have literally never owned a pair of rollerblade brand rollerblades in all of my years skating. Yeah. My brother had Dirks, and I did skate those a few back in the day. But
I had they were my first aggressive skates with Dirks.
Nice. I want that. I wish they would bring those back, even non-UFS. Those are sick. I just love the way they look.
Yeah, I did.
You'd have to find some CDS Detroit heel plates, but
I had those.
They were great.
The burgundy CDS Detroit grind plates on them.
Sick.
And did you have Gobstopper? What were they? Gobstopper anti-rockers. They were like the Roadhouse Crayola ones, but not. They were like a rip-off. I think it was a UK brand, maybe German, but they were like multicolored anti-rockers.
No, and by the time those were out, we were flat. 55 flat, 56 flat. Yeah. I skated anti-rocker for like 1996, and then I skated flat from 97 through the time that I stopped in early 2000. So because that was when everyone was skating flat 55, flat 56.
Yeah. And
it was
started
cheating if you were skating anti-rocker. So I was like, I was trying to be cool.
No, when I started, it was I had some like recreational skates and then Dirks. But already then it was like, for me, or what I saw was like, you should ride anti-rocker. And then I got the very first Thrones with like the thinner lace like area, like the black ones, the very first team ones they brought out.
That's Vince had those with like they were like two-tone black and then a lighter cuff or whatever, like a lighter gray cuff or something like that. He had those. I was always jealous that he got those, but that was also when I got my remedies, which are still my favorite skates of all time.
Had those. I remember going into a shop when we were on holiday. It was in the UK, but they had some there. And,
that's crazy.
I was just like, I was only young, and I was like holding them. They were like 250 quid or something like that.
I can't believe my dad got those for me.
You're just like, wow.
Yeah, I was just looking at my parents, like looking, and then looking back at the skate, and they were just like, no chance. Like,
I was speaking to someone who said when he first ordered those, he had to like stand on a photocopier and then send that to Gato, like, what size do I want? Like, photocopy your foot, and literally like fax it to him or whatever, and say like, what size.
So what I did
do I want?
was, so what I did when I ordered mine, and I cannot believe that my father paid for these with 3 kids. I mean, he did pretty good, made good living, but still, I can't believe that. I got them for my 16th birthday. So what I had to do was I had to stand on a piece of paper and trace both my feet, and then this is pre-internet. Well, I mean, the internet existed, but we didn't have it. My dad wrote his credit card number on they sent you like a fill-out form, his address and credit card number and all that stuff. Put that in an envelope and send it off to France. And I got him like a month later. Like, it was crazy.
That's wild.
And my dad was like, I remember him being really nervous that like, they're going to steal my identity, like, because it's going to Europe. And he's like, who are these people? What, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, and then, so the worst part was though, because they came in the summertime, because my birthday's in May, but they didn't come until like June, and we were already out of school. And I didn't realize that after the first day I had to actually be there to sign for the package. And so we went out and skated, and I missed the guy, and he had the sticker on the front door, and I'm like, damn. And I waited all day the next day, and I was like, he's not coming. And so I went and skated at like 5 o'clock, and then I came back, and there was a sticker on the door again, and I'm like, all right, tomorrow I have to stay here literally all day. And so I learned that lesson. So I was like, I have to stay here. But when they finally got there, I was like,
new skates is so exciting. Even now, doesn't matter what they are. And there's been a lot.
Oh, for sure.
You've had a lot this year.
She was in her closet hiding.
I think I got to March.
Yeah, you did pretty well at the start. Yeah.
I did. I was so proud of myself, and then it just all went to shit. But then I've sold all this stuff and not bought another pair. So
that's good.
Nikki was just like, yeah, I actually can't believe you haven't bought another pair, but you probably will.
Neither can I.
Yeah, I probably will. So just before this, I was looking on a few European shops, not American, but there's no small 909s, black or grey of either kind on any shop.
Anywhere, yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
That is. I mean, I think he underestimated how many people were going to order, or more people ordered because they knew they were the only skates that were going to come in because of everything else
I think
going
he got
on.
really lucky with timing.
It was
like, there's a lot of other skates that are waiting to come out, and his like almost like snuck under the wire.
Yeah,
and there's no roaches, there's no razors, there's no USDs, like nothing's coming out, and then his managed to come out, and it's all on pre-order. And it's just like I'll have those.
But
very fortunate time.
Sold out on Loco. The Nils Fifth Elements and the M12 Tides have sold out on pre-order, so they're just not even on the site.
Damn, those Tides are such a great color.
Yeah, they're
it's
nice.
A great color. I don't know if I could pull it off, but it's a great color.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a cult in that color coming soon.
That'd be cool. I mean, they all seem to kind of follow each other. So.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
it was blue last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of green this year, maybe. But
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, good for them though.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool, especially for the riders like Nels or whatever. That's cool. Your skates literally sold out before it's even released.
I think like we were saying today, that whoever saw it, like they've sort of ridden on the back of nostalgia, like people coming back to blading and thinking like, what can I get? And like, I used to have those white Fifth Elements, and just like an updated version.
It's almost not even nostalgia with Roses though, is it? Like the Fifth Element is, but the Majestic 12's just been on sale like the entire time.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, just like you could have got them
never stopped selling
at any point in the past, like however long, 30 years.
I remember when I came back and I saw that sole plate, I was like, oh, these look so good. Sounds like they took a basic, what everyone would think of the shape and the look of a inline skate, and I was like, damn, those look so good.
Yeah.
And then, I saw like Brasco and stuff riding them, and I'm like, oh, damn it, I really want these skates. And that surprised I got the sways when I did. I was just, it was more of the groove on that came with the Fluid 3s that came with those skates when I came back. Because I was like, I know I'm not going to have time to go to a proper ledge and work these in. And
it's like
pretty
super
good groove.
deep, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I got a groove that I'm going to, work with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the suede seems to be selling really well as well. I don't know about the Farmer one, but
I think it's too early to tell with those.
I think anything is generally it seems to be selling really well. Whether it's
they seem to have come out with another sway actually, which is like the reverse colorway of some of the ones they've done before, where they've just like mushed the parts together and made them.
They still look nice though. All of them.
The flip side, yeah, they do look good. Yeah,
all of them look pretty good. Yeah.
Like you say, nothing is in stock anywhere, so like, make whatever you can really.
Getting hold of whatever they can. Yeah. But going back to the M12. Like at one point when there was only the black one with the high cuff at the back, but it's still UFS. Well, it was when Valo were around. They still sold the M12 alongside them.
And it was like a real budget skate. Like
but it was seen as like at that point it was like really uncool. Where before that it was cool with like when Ollie Short and Dunkel and that was skating. It was really cool then, and then it went like super uncool again. It's just weird.
It's just weird
how trends go. And then whoever skated the V13 first, like Brosco and Sizemore, just made it look like really good again and
make it look fresh, even though it's really old.
That's me with any Razor skates. I don't like the way they look unless they're on certain people and how they set them up and how they skate and how their clothes look and all that stuff. But for me, Razor skates are Razors. They're god awful looking.
I know what you mean.
They do a terrible job with all the graphics and decals and stuff like that. They're generally it's not good. And like on the SL, it's got the 3D Razors logo like on the side of the boot.
Yeah. It's the like the overall shape of them too for me. I don't know. I get what people like them and people think they look good.
I'm sure they skate good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to skate them really well. But I remember like a while ago, Nathan said, because he knows like, I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to say, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Nathan knows like French Razors pros, and he skates with them. Like Matthias Silhan lives near where he lives, I think. And he was saying like how Razors were in like serious trouble, and like obviously no one was getting paid, which kind of rings true from John Fromm leaving.
And Stefan.
Yeah. So I don't know, but they still seem to be. What was the last skate they released?
The Navy SL?
The Henderson, but that's not technically.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, but I mean, the Winter Clash, that was. I mean, I know it was just a sample release for Winter Clash, but like it literally, you could see the old white logo under being sanded off, and then the Henderson like printed on top of that, and it was just like it looked so shoddy.
I'm surprised they're not rolling in scooter money. Like,
yeah, I don't know how much of that like transfers across, but
I think scooter thing's a tricky game to be in. I think because most parents are going to buy whatever's the cheap Chinese like. No one cares about the brand names for the most part. Real hardcore like real scooter riders probably do, but most of the ones that get sold are just going to be But like most of them that get sold are just going to be whatever cheap kids toys really.
The ones we have for my girls have are LOL surprise, because that's like a thing that little girls love. I got them from Target. They were like $40 each.
Do they do skates?
Yeah, they each skate a little bit. There's LOL surprise. No. The skates they have are Schwinn, which I was crazy that a bike manufacturer makes rollerblades that they sell at Target, but they're adjustable and they work for them to learn on. So.
Razors had two models last year, didn't they? They had the Navy SL and the Russian guy?
Galushko. Galushko, yeah.
It's a weird one that, because he is like undeniably
really, really good,
incredible, but it's just not like. I mean, I don't know how many people we've said this before buy a skate because it's got a certain person's name on it or anything like that. But
you kind of want both. You need a skate that looks good and a good name, and what you've got is a skate that looks bad with someone you've not heard of. And he's really good, and it's a good skate. I went through
a phase of liking that skate. I nearly bought that skate. It was close. I can't remember why. There was someone who made it look really good. That's like what Jeremy says. Like someone can make a skate look really good and make you want it.
Shane McClay or whatever in Minnesota.
Yeah, he skates them.
He skates those, and he skates them with white soles, which surprisingly look really good. And then I think he has black. He skates the big or mega flat on those.
That's it.
And they always look really good.
But then that M12 came out in a similar color that looks better, I think.
Yeah, that tan is the sesame. That's much better.
But then
it's better and cheaper.
Mills's frame came out, which was like yet again a different shade of that.
Yeah.
Whatever colour you want to call it.
Not a good choice.
Just weird.
Beige.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, and that I don't know if that goes with his pro skate. Like, you think they would have been? I know GC is razors and whatever.
I bet it's probably the same shade as that shift because they'd have used the same plastic.
I think somebody held them next to each other and they were not the same color.
So we've got 3 different shades of beige.
Maybe it's designed to match the sesames then, but it seems a bit like there's either a long lead up to that or it's a bit short-sighted. It's probably both.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that color frame would go well on just a black skate. Like, just put that on a black skate.
On its own, it's quite nice. Same with the army green one they did. That was nice. But
that was one of my favorite. To kind of bring it to what we were going to talk about on this to begin with, my favorite 908 setup when they first came out in 2018 was Jason Reyna. He had the black and he had the army green Create Originals on there and black wheels. And I was like,
very nice.
Or the them wheels. And I was like, damn, it looks so good. And then my buddy did it before I had a chance to get Creates, and I was like, oh, now I can't do it because my buddy has it. It's one of those, like, I see you all the time, so now I can't do it because I look like I'm jocking off you. It's fine to jock off Jason Reyna because he lives in Texas and I don't live there. So, but I don't know. But
I think you're winning in terms of 909 schemes as far as I'm concerned.
It's one of my favorites.
Thank you. Well, having tiny feet help. Small skates always look better.
I think the blue is better than grey though.
2 that I really liked, and yours was one, and this was another one that was really similar. If you can see it, I don't know.
Oh yeah. You posted that too.
Practically the same.
Black on black.
Yeah. That's that. I was so close to ordering them off the back of that, but somehow I managed to stop myself.
Yeah,
I know. I'm quite glad about that.
The gray it's a good gray. I just don't. Well, since I have those Solomons that are the same color, I was like, I don't.
Yeah, true.
And plus I was like, everyone's gonna have the gray. Just give me
that. Joey's got the grey ones, but with the black cuff, so they look like the ST80s. That's a good look as well. But you've got to buy 2 pairs of them. And then you've got one that's like the reverse that looks a bit weird.
One of my friends has done that, and he's bought grey with the Intuitions, and then they arrived, and then he was.
Although I will say, the grey ones, our friend Jan de Dobler or whatever, I never know how to pronounce his last name in Belgium. He has the grey with the pink and.
They look good. Yeah, they look really good.
Fresh. His look really fresh. But again, it's all on how they're set up in the little nuances and.
Yeah, like you've got to have on the grey. I think. Well, I don't know. Like Sashiro's just got standard, even the standard liner and.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Grey, and that looks really good. But I think generally it looks better with a contrasting sole plate.
I think they should ship with a contrasting.
Brosco's.
You guys always mention that, and I disagree. Or at least for black. Just give me all black.
For black, I'd leave black as black.
Black's all right. Yeah. But like the ivory, the 908 was just a bit too. I don't know.
It was too much white. Yeah.
And the powder blue one,
I think.
A bit much.
I think going back to what we were saying about them selling out and it being good timing. On the other hand, like if they can't make another one now, like quickly, then they're going to miss out a little bit, I think. But then, and on the sort of on the same thread, like the hype will build up loads then towards. Say if they can't do one till the end of the year, that one will just sell out as well. So you can't lose really now, I don't think.
I can do the yellow of the box. Have you seen the box?
That like neon yellow, yeah.
That yellow.
I got rid of I recycled my box, unfortunately. I didn't want it hanging around, but
I always keep mine for when I sell something and I have to ship it out.
I still have my box, my blue box from the original V1 908s in the basement still, because they were like sitting on top of something, and then there was like a couple of things on top of it, and I was like, wait, what's in here? And I was like, oh, nothing. I'm like, all right. So I moved that, and I was like, all right, I don't need all these boxes.
Skate boxes last no time at all, before something else gets shipped out in them again.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, and Sarah gets this, like, one just came today, this FabFitFun, like, auto subscription box thing, and it comes with, like, whatever, like, face stuff and fitness type, whatever. But anyways, they're like the same size as a skate box, but they're a lot thicker. So we have like a few of those. I was like, let's keep a couple of these. So if I need to ship some stuff, I'll just ship them in these.
Yeah.
Because they're like useful. A lot sturdier of a box. And I was like, they're literally like the same size. They would fit I don't know if they fit your size too, but my size.
Yours are
skates fit
tiny.
perfectly.
Yeah, yours are hilarious.
Yeah.
I remember I'd got a pair of my Solomons in the office when your grey ones turned up, and the size difference is hilarious. They look like half the size. It's crazy, but in like every dimension. They're not just like shorter. They're not as tall. Like they're narrower. The frame is tiny. Like it's weird. Yeah.
It's like the child skate of the dad.
Almost,
skate.
yeah.
It's like this one gave birth to this one.
They look better. Like.
But yeah, so we. But anyway, so yeah, I mean the 909s like so far having skated granted I only skated the V1. 908s, and that was 2 years ago, so my memory is a little fuzzy, or maybe I got rose-colored glasses for them. But because then after I stopped skating those, I had like a bit of a skate crisis and felt like I backtracked in skill level, and all that good stuff. But comparing the two, they definitely stepped up with like the materials and
yeah, they look a lot nicer.
Not just the looks, but like the way they feel. They feel lighter yet more sturdy at the same time, and as much as I love a flexi skate, the V1s the black at least were.
They were really flexy.
Not so much out the gate, but once they broke in, they got like super flexy, and it was almost like too much. And I don't know if that was stock liner and both, but once I broke them in, they did feel pretty amazing. But these ones feel more with the cuff rocker down. They feel like an M12, and that's all I've been looking for is an M12.
I was just going to
size up to.
Yeah.
And so
you saying that kind of put me off buying them, because I thought, well, if they feel just like an M12, I've got 2 pairs of those upstairs. So.
Oh no, for sure. And for me, it's the M12. I have a fairly narrow foot too, and I have to wear the 8/9 shell. And I'm like, if they had a 7/8 shell, I'd be fine.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So for me, I found the same skate essentially that I absolutely love, but in the size that fits me correctly. And, So getting back to buying new stuff, I'm definitely going to stay on these, I think.
Yeah, you definitely should do. From what I've seen of clips so far, they just look solid.
They feel great. Yeah, it's that, especially after those Solomons too, like having to really work at back bars, and I'm like,
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I hate that. I tried to do tricks in those K2s today that I just thought this should be hard, and most of them, they weren't easy, but they weren't impossible either.
One as difficult as you thought they maybe could have been.
Yeah. I think I was more just intrigued than like, oh yes, I'm definitely going to skate these all the time. Like, I had to work a little bit more, but it just baffles me how like more people don't have them. I don't know why.
I mean,
it's because like they're so comfortable and like to me they look really good, but
I think they're seen as uncool or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I came to.
When I came back though, I was like this close to getting them instead of the sways, because I was like,
it's probably a good job
to ride. Yeah, well, yeah, geez. Although sways are like super stiff too. At least the Team 2s that I had.
Yeah, they were the first inline skates I had. K2 Uptowns last year. That's how long I've been skating. That kind of says it all. But it was a weird introduction, really, when I think about it. It didn't feel that weird at the time. But then I moved on to Solomons after that, and I was like, wow, this is a lot different. Like, there's a lot, these are a lot more different than I thought they'd be. Because I looked at the Uptowns and thought they look kind of soft, kind of squishy, like fairly forgiving, bigger wheels, like that'll be fine to start on. And actually, it was the total opposite of what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Looking back now, I don't know that that's a bad thing actually, but it was weird to get used to. And then as soon as I swapped skates, I was like, I'm not getting another pair of those.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like people, like we were saying, coming back and ordering Fifth Element or M12s, like if people came back and was like, right, I used to skate, and people will do this or have done this, like I used to skate K2 fatties, and then Google like K2 skates and the Unnatural comes up and you order them. You'd put them on and be like, what the hell is going on here? Like, this isn't what I used to skate, sort of thing. And then it might put some people off, but I don't know.
I will say, I didn't even know. It took me at least a year being back before I even knew what I wanted or liked anyways, Like, I didn't know that I liked flexier skates, or I didn't remember that I liked flexier skates, because it was such a long 16, 17 years.
Yeah. And at the time you had what you had, like, what would you compare it to anyway? Like, were they, would you remember them as being flexy, or were they just skates? Like,
they were just, and back then I didn't think twice about.
Yeah, exactly.
It was all about how they looked, and that was it. Hey, these fifth elements look amazing because John Julio and Billy Prislin are skating them, you know?
Yeah.
And then remedies. Oh, Jason Marshall and Transcend had these. I want these, you know? And then it was like, oh, okay. And then I went back to K2s and I had some Solomons mixed in and, you know, but it was more of like, actually for a while, it was because I skated so much street that I would burn through them. And my parents, you know, I'd get them at Christmas and then my birthday in May. And then in between, it was like, good luck, kid. So what
I got them like, my birthday's in January. So I used to get a pair for Christmas and birthday combined. Literally for the whole year. I think I maybe got new. I mean, back then, obviously, like you didn't get new frames unless you like had 50-50 with the adapters or something like that.
Right.
So it was like we had. I probably said this before, but we had like a surf shop. Well, we still have a surf shop that sold skates, and they actually had like I got the Dirks from there, I got the Thrones from there, and I got a pair of Solomons from there. And they were all like on sale because no one had bought them. But my first 3 pairs of skates I bought in my town, which is pretty crazy. But
this was before Modern had a skate. There was a skate shop called Blade Sports that was closer to us. So we'd go there, it was before Modern had a skate park. It was Modern Skate and Surf, and they just had a shop in the city my job is in, off Woodward Avenue, which is like the main thing. Runs from downtown Detroit, like 20 miles outside of the city. But anyway, so we went there. That's where I got my first skates, and it was cool because it was like there's surfboards and wakeboards and skateboards and you know scooters didn't really exist, but it was like everything. But they had rollerblades were huge, you know, so they had skate video playing on the thing and like kind of sectioned off. Like, hey, here's the section for skateboards, here's the section for surfing and snowboarding and all the other sports, you know. But yeah, Blade Sports, we'd go there too. Yeah, we went there a lot. The cool thing is they had a little curb waxed up outside, so you can kind of go and get your skates, and then you can be like, I'm going to do a couple rails and at least get a little pre-groove going. And then, you know. Yeah. But what I did with a lot was at Airborne, now as an adult, I feel guilty that I did this, but I would trade some little Grom kid that wanted my skates because I skated okay. You know, I was decent. And then he'd be like, oh, I want your skates. So I'd trade him. That's how I got my Solomons. That's how I got my second elements. Like my remedies started ripping a little bit, and I was like, oh god, if I keep skating these, I'm gonna completely shred these. So I traded those. That's how I got the Solomons, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna trade these for the Solomons. And then you know, so I was like, I felt bad, but I did that like 2 or 3 times. Like,
yeah, I did similar things like with skates that were like, for me, they were burnt out. Like, I used to keep skates for probably a year or longer, and I had the first shadows I had, and they had new parts on as well, so I must have like gone through some parts already. But then the frame, I kept the shadow frame on, and there was like between the frame and like the bottom of the sole plate maybe like a few mil, so it was just like a big triangle groove. Yeah And then like the backside plate, when it was like a 3-piece one, had a hole in, so you were actually grinding on the foot wrap.
Damn.
And then I'd spray painted them blue because Stockwell did it.
Yeah, that's sick.
And then I think someone had like written some stuff on my skates and stuff as well. But anyway, I ended up selling them to this kid, and he was like actually really wanted them. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I think I only sold them for about 20 quid or something like that, if that.
Right.
And then it was in a town like near us, and then we went back like a few weeks later, and he was still skating them and absolutely loving them. I was like, all right, cool.
All right. Well, there you go. I know, yeah.
They were amazing.
Sounds like they're fit for the bin, to be honest.
They were, yeah. I wish I had a picture of them. I wish I had a picture of like some, you know, like burnt out skates at the end of their like.
Yeah, my first skates ever when I was a kid, we used to skate quads. I had the Bauer Turbo quad skates. Me and my brother both had a pair one year, and I skated those for years. I mean, we bought them like 5 sizes too big or whatever. So I had them for a long time.
You did. Yeah.
By the time we got rid of them, they were
grow
absolutely into yeah. And I did, to be fair, but they were absolutely shot by the end of it. I mean, we'd gone through God knows how many sets of wheels, stoppers, laces. The liners were like tracing paper thin, like terrible. But when I got back into skating, I was like, oh, maybe I should get some Bauer skates, and then they don't really do. I mean, they do hockey skates, but they don't really do. Anything decent.
You see a ton of those around here because it's, you know, the Wings branded us as Hockey Town or whatever, and we have a big hockey playing following here, and there's a lot of roller hockey teams, like a lot of ice hockey players. If they're not playing full time because it's so expensive, they'll do roller hockey. And so there's a hockey store less than a mile from me. That's where I get my wax laces, and they they have a whole wall of like Mission and Bauer and CCM and all the ones that make regular ice skate boots make.
Yeah.
And
they're not bad skates by all accounts, but you can't really do anything with them apart from use them as they are. Like you can't customize them, you can't change the frame, you can't change the wheel sizes. Like they are what they are. And most of the time, I think they are actually the ice hockey boots. They've just put a rollerblade sort of frame. Yeah. It's the same boot.
Yeah. No, for real. I'm pretty sure it is. Like, sorry, I got a crying child. I'm gonna pause the recording. Hang on.
As we're in bed, but.
Yeah, as I know. Yeah, thank God.
All right, I got the recording going again. Sorry. I had to pause for whoever watches this crying child.
If anyone does.
Yeah.
Someone will. Gislan will.
Gislan will. Hi, Gislan.
Yeah.
The man, absolute legend.
He is, for real. I know, I
know, like, when we went to Winter Clash, I was just looking for him because he'd been there, like, all afternoon. And he'd found like Stefan, and then we got there like late on, and the bowl comp was just like going off, and you couldn't even get to the bowl, so we were stood like right across the other side of the park, and I like spotted him from literally like miles away, and I was like, there he is, like let's go and find him. So, but yeah, he's just like the nicest guy you will like ever meet.
It's not even a photo of people skating, but that photo of you two is one of my favorite photos. Like I love that picture.
I agree.
Because it's just
like
happiness.
He doesn't drink. He's just like not interested, but he didn't really know. He didn't really know a lot about. Yeah. He doesn't care what's going on. He's just like if he thinks something is sick, then it's sick.
He sent me a picture when you were at the Winter Clash, and he said, "I'm just talking to this bloke at the bar, and he says he skates for Razors, and I don't know who he is, and it was John Fromm."
Yeah,
and he sent me a picture. It's like, I said, "Who's this?" I'm like, "John Fromm."
Yeah,
through San Diego. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
how do you know that?
Did that
I'm
quite
like,
a lot.
I just
like,
do.
If we were talking to people, like he'd just talk. Well, he'd just be talking to them because he didn't know who they were and just chatting away. And
that's like, awesome.
So who? Yeah, he's like, so who's this then? Like, and when because Cameron and Jimmy Hake ended up staying in Gislan's room because Cameron like posted a thing on Instagram saying I've got a flight to Winter Clash but need a place to stay. So I said, all right, well, I think I might know someone who has space. And he was like, yeah, that's fine, whoever. And it wasn't until he started like searching him on YouTube and stuff like, oh, right, this guy is actually like a big deal then. Like, but yeah, it's just funny.
I love it though. But it's like I don't want this to sound like it might sound, but like that childlike, wide-eyed naivete, optimism, fun, but you don't know who they are, nor do you care. But there's no preconceived notions to it.
Exactly that, yeah. And like the VG thing we went to, he maybe he knew what VG was, not really sure, but he was just like, obviously he'd have probably never seen any of those videos. And they just did like they showed sections from like all the best ones and what have you, with talking in between, and he was just like so juiced. But, didn't really know what he was watching or who anyone was or anything like that. But yeah. It was good to be there with someone like that.
But I think to that point, if he likes it and you're like, okay, he knows about inline skating, but he doesn't necessarily know who any of these people are. And that's a good thing. If he likes it, then you're like, okay, that actually that means it translates well to somebody that, doesn't care what's cool or, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I think that's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Yeah. I hope probably, I'm guessing you will get a chance to meet him, like both of you.
I hope so.
I think he's like decided against what year is it this year? Like obviously, if anyone,
I don't think he can travel, to be honest.
No, if anyone international can go, I don't even know if they can. But next year, I'm sure he'll go. Yeah, I'd like to as well. So
I owe him big time, and I owe both of you for the Solomons too. So I gotta buy him dinner or something like that. He said he wanted a 12-pack of Mountain Dew. I'm like, well, that's like $3.50. So maybe I'll buy you dinner too.
That's what he's like. He'll just be, oh yeah, don't worry about it, and then
he's not bothered. Yeah.
No, he's not. I mean, obviously, he's got money, and doesn't really. It's not an issue to him.
I have to do my best to pay him back. Really.
Yeah.
I have to try go out of my way to pay him back.
Yeah.
There was me and two friends from here at Winter Clash, and he generally just hung around with us three like most of the time. and we'd all go for like something to eat, and he'd be like, "Oh no, I've got this," and just go and pay before you had a chance to say anything and stuff like that.
I had a friend like that when I went, the only time I went to New York City in 2006. One of my high school buddies, went and stayed with a high school buddy, and then another high school friend was living there too at the time. And we met up with him one night, and we went to this little, underground bar or whatever. It was like in late afternoon on a Friday, after work type thing for him. And he was an investment banker, and so he was, rolling in it. And I was like, and he just graduated. We were all like 23 years old, 22 years old, and I'm like, all right, I make like $12.50 an hour. I scraped to go this New York trip. We're staying. I'm sleeping on my buddy's hardwood floor in his Brooklyn loft, and this was before Brooklyn was what it is now. And but anyway, so we go to the bar and meet up with Ahmad, and Ahmad's like, this fresh, investment banker working for Bank of America or some shit. And like, so anyways, long story short, we go to pay our bills at the bar, and the bartender's like, no, your buddy took care of it, because he just kind of said goodbye and he left, and we didn't know that he paid it, and we were just like, oh shit. And cool. We were there for a couple hours before he got there, and then we were there for like another hour or two after. The bartender said he just gave him like a couple $100 and said just let him go until it runs out, kind of a thing. And we were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I was like, yeah, that was amazing. We ended up meeting him with him later in the evening, and I was like, I'm buying you at least a couple drinks, man. Like, because it was nuts though. And he actually moved back home because he lived in London for a little while, and then Dubai, and then now he's back home. But he's world traveler. I'm a little jealous. Also was a state champ wrestler here and a Pac-10 champ wrestler at Stanford, and he went to Stanford on a half academic, half wrestling scout. I'm like, and he's funny and cool, and I'm like, seriously, man, like, is there anything like? There's got to be something bad about you.
Yeah.
And I've known him for like 25 years, and he's the same guy. He's super cool and super nice.
Has he got a decent soil?
No, he doesn't skate.
See, you've got him. Man.
Oh, well, yeah. You're a better skater than he is.
Yeah. That's true. But he did sell me my first pair of subwoofers for the back of my car when we were in high school. So
that's all good then.
Yeah. But anyways, the long story short, it reminds me of just like though in that. Yeah. We all have those people that we know that are just like, are fortunate enough and are cool and just like, hey, I got it. Don't worry about it.
He's a class act.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, but then on like I say, he doesn't drink. Like he didn't drink at all. He doesn't at all. But then he'd come down the next morning looking like more rough than everyone else. And he's just like, I don't know, on a morning. He's definitely not a morning person. I don't think. But yeah. So we skated the outdoor park. You probably saw it like plaza type thing.
I wasn't sure if that was a park. I just thought it was some ledges.
Yeah, it was sort of a skate park. It wasn't the best thing ever, but I just knew where it was and knew everyone would be able to skate it. So I got to film like a line of him. That was like one of the highlights of my trip, because he was just like, oh, it's so weird skating with other people and having someone else film me like following him and stuff like that. Like I think he was pretty juiced off that. So that was a highlight.
I forget how nobody has it as good as like we have it in Detroit. Like as far as the amount of people we can skate with and all that. I take it for granted is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah. Even so we have like, enough people, but you have 7 or 8. I don't know if he's reached out or looked because obviously there must be other skaters in Vienna.
There has to be. It's a big enough city.
You've got a huge skate park now as well.
So he might bump into people now, but I think he likes just going out and doing his thing and then going home again.
There's something for that too.
I caught him on Instagram Live a few times, and that's quite cool just to chime in, see what he's up to and have a chat.
And how juicy gets off stuff, especially the latest Game of Blade trick.
It was amazing.
It was like I don't even think he'd landed yet, but it was like mid heel click and already celebrated kind of thing.
Hey Stuart, is there anyone? I always forget. I know. Craig's in Scarborough. I always forget where you're at.
Cambridge.
Okay.
There are people. There's a few more people in like Norfolk sort of area. There's a few people about, but the kind of limited time I have for skating and like random timing. It's like I've got an hour here, an hour there, that kind of thing. Sometimes it's like in the middle of the work day or whatever. It's not that easy to get to like a sort of proper session.
So you haven't been able to link up with people too much?
Not really. Indoor parks is another thing, because like a lot of the year the weather's pretty crap. There is an indoor park in Corby, which is like an hour and a half away or something like that, Adrenaline Alley, which is
not too
decent.
bad.
It's a really decent skate park by all accounts, but it's like a day trip for me rather than like, pop over for an evening or just for a bit.
I think since being on Slack, I've skated on my own a lot more because in a way you feel like you're not really skating on your own.
Almost.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like because you were getting feedback, or at least people are watching you skate and stuff like that. But it's just like a crew outside of your crew sort of thing.
Yeah, I have like 2 crews. It's weird, almost 3 really, because there's my 5 or 6 guys that are on this side of town that I skate with all the time. That we meet up and skate together all the time, and then there's the rest of the the names that everyone knows that skate at modern stuff, because they're usually on the other side of town, so we don't get to link up that often. At least I don't, because I have kids and all that good stuff. A lot of them don't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They're out during the day because some of them are like restaurant jobs, so that, they're out during the day, and I'm like, it's Tuesday, I'm at work.
Yeah.
So, but there is like an outdoor park that's like 5 minutes from my office that they'll go to sometimes, and I'm like, maybe I can sneak out. But it's always like, had I known this morning, I would have put the skates in the car with me, brought them to work, and then used my lunch break time to do that. But a lot of times it's like I see them there, and I'm like, damn it.
I found a cool little mini ramp near my office. My goal for this year was to learn how to skate mini ramp.
Hell yeah.
And then I've not been in the office like most of the year because of Corona. So not been anywhere near a skate park.
Yeah.
Still plenty of time.
I haven't a lot this year. Like the people I skate with are generally in a similar situation to me, in that they're either they have kids or obviously they work full time and stuff like that. So if we skate like one night a week, or we did, I think it will start back up again soon. But yeah, if that doesn't happen, then just go out on my own at some point. I didn't ever really skate this box like.
I didn't know you had it
until now. Yeah, no, I skated it a little bit when like I got it, and then hardly at all, and then I was like, well, it's better than nothing. So
yeah. I mean, at least exactly. At least you got something.
It's a little bit of a challenge to skate as well, actually. But I'm interested to see how skating a normal ledge or whatever it'll be once we go back to that.
I'm terrified of like that I'm gonna lose all my transitions tricks. Like then I'm gonna have to spend the summer relearning everything again. And because I was getting really comfortable, I was at a point where I was really starting to kind of push.
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it, I don't want to like start over again. Yeah. I mean, nothing we can do about it, so whatever. But
no, some people have been going to parks, obviously, and either when it's quiet or just literally ignoring any.
There's some around here that have been doing that too, and I'm like, I'm not there yet. Because you can get a fine. It's like $1,000 fine here because we're still under stay-at-home orders. Like
ours is the only skate park for like miles around. So obviously, like all the scooter kids, skateboarders, BMXers, everyone just flocks there. Especially when it's nice weather, which at the moment it is. Like, and if I go down last thing at night, it's just going to be like covered in like litter and the kids like spitting all over it and smoking and stuff all day. Like it's just going to be this would be horrendous on a night. So I'm just going to give it a miss until everything's definitely all right, and then go back there. But we've got plenty of spots we can go to.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I have to drive to get spots. Like I have that one ledge, but it's hit or miss if there's a car parked in front of me because it's in a parking lot of an office. And like the last couple of times I've driven by, it's not too far away. It's only a couple miles away, but I've driven by and there's a freaking car parked right in front of it. And I'm like, so I just want to go break the 909. I'm like, I just want to go do Royales for a half hour and some back bars and some, groove tricks just to break them in. And I'm like, and to skate something other than my box. But, but there's a couple because all the spots that I used to skate are either chunked or, progress construction. Yeah. They're gone now, they've been replaced or torn out or whatever, So there's another ledge at one of the local high schools. My town is 100,000 people and we have three high schools. So not the one that I went to, but another one. It has a ledge, but it's a little high and it's out front, and that's my problem with going to skate that is you can see it from the road. Any other time I don't give a shit, but I don't want a cop to drive by and give me a ticket for being out not doing grocery shopping or the essential type stuff. So that's the thing. It's like the ledge that has the car park in front of it. It's like back in this industrial park, and I don't think cops ever drive back there. And so it's like I'm pretty free to skate back there. But what Jan and I were messaging about privately on Instagram about was also, I don't know if I feel comfortable skating by myself, because like, what if I get hurt?
Well, this is
I can't get to my phone, and I can't call 911, and so there's a little bit of that too. And
it doesn't take much to stop you being able to drive, like twist an ankle or a
wrist.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like
right.
You could be stranded pretty quick. Yeah.
Actually, one of my best friends that I skate with, Steve, this was during my hiatus. He actually like fucked his back up really bad at that ledge. Like fell like on his back and like had to like army crawl in like the most pain he's ever been in his life to his car, and barely was able to drive to the ER. And like he still has back issues to this day. He like fractured the vertebrae and like all this crap. So like I always have that in the back of my head when I'm at that spot, because he told me, I'm like, I wish you wouldn't have told me that it was at this spot. It's one of those like,
I've seen some pretty rough things over the years at spots we still go to now as well. But yeah, it's
funny how sometimes you get spooked with certain things, and you're like that didn't even happen to me, and I wasn't even there, but just the fact that I know about it, it's like, is that going to happen to me?
In my village, there's not really any great aggressive spots, so I'm gonna have to work on that. Maybe get a P rail or something. I think. I've done that already. But
have you ever seen, or you, Jeremy, seen that Life Plus section of they were called the Carson Wee brothers, and I'll have to link you up. They're basically like, what was it called? I'll have to find it. But they skated like a forest, like literally like grinding like trees.
I might have
branches.
seen that actually.
It's really good. They were really creative, like brothers who skated. They were both really good, like whatever the word is, like normal skaters as well. Like they could hold their own on rails and stuff like that. But then kind of they would be like Robbie Pitts now, I guess, but kind of went a different way. But they skated like proper. What did they did another one where they went to like, I think they went on a family holiday, and it was like to a caravan, and there was like no spots, so they had to make stuff to skate and get really creative and stuff like that. But you could like kind of explore the possibilities of there being next to nothing in your village. Yeah, there probably is like literally nothing if it's
there is a next to the school,
English village.
Real like fat rails, and I say like they're like really fat rails. They're pretty rusty, but like next to the school, which wouldn't be too bad, but the ground they're next to is beyond rough. Like literally, as soon as you land on it, you're just gonna die straight away.
I'm gonna quickly look for that now.
That's I always realize how fortunate I am when I see the European clips, like especially in the community challenge every month, and I'm always like, oh yeah, wait, you guys don't have a lot to work with, and there's cobblestones, and because everything's so old,
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't have smooth pavement. Hi, sweetie. We're recording something, but you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
Can you go ask Mom? Whatever it is. Okay, tell her to share the tablet with you. In 15 minutes, it'll be 5 o'clock, then she can use it. I really got to get a second one of those things.
There's a few skate parks within driving distance, but there's not many that are lit at night either, which is another problem.
Yeah.
There's no good going, because a lot of my skate time's in the evening, and then most of the year it's completely pitch black at those skate parks. You've got no chance. So. My cement one that I skate all the time doesn't have lights either. And then the other one in my city, that's actually technically the next city over, but it's just like literally 8 Mile is the divider line, and it's just on the other side of 8 Mile. Yeah.
But that's actually, they're equidistant. They're each like 2.5 miles from my house. But the other one I go to that's in my city, I got to write the city council, because like they close it at 7 all year round. I'm like, by the time I get off work, and normally if I'm at the office, I'm like, by the time I get there, I can skate for a half hour, and then you guys close it.
Especially in the summer, there's no need to do that.
I'm like, it's daylight till 9:30. Yeah. Like, what are you doing here? Like I don't get it. And they don't open till like 11. And a lot of times you have to go because it's in the same. There was an old high school there that got torn down like when I was a kid, and then they put up this huge like recreational center, and there's like the Little League American football fields are there, and there's like a track that people run on, and there's like a roller hockey rink, and then there's the skate park, which I actually helped design, even though by the time that got fully approved, I was done skating, but we still went to the meetings, which is why there's round coping on down boxes there. At least a couple of them have round coping, because we were the only ones that were like 17, and the other kids were like 12. So we kind of pushed our way into it. But yeah. But anyways, you have to go into the rec center and like ask the dude that runs it, like this middle-aged guy, like, can you unlock the skate park? And I'm like, you guys are supposed to unlock it every morning at like 11, you know? So a lot of times I'm like, call up there and I'm like, I have to like drive my car over there or skate over there. And I'm like skating in, walking in there on my skates, like, can you unlock this, please? Like, you're supposed to unlock it. Send the 15-year-old kid you're paying, you know, I'm gonna go on a smoke break because you know he smokes, to have him go over there and unlock the damn thing. And then like they close at like 5 on Sundays too, and I'm always like, why?
Yeah. Where I grew up near Stoke, I mean, there's no skate parks in those days, and we campaigned quite a lot to get skate parks built and went to meetings and stuff like that. By the time it all got finished, like we were well over it, like couldn't be bothered anymore. But there's a huge skate park now. Stoke Plaza, yeah, which now is like a legendary like UK spot, like crazy good stuff's done there. Even like the Jeff Stockwell skated it.
Stockwell and Farmer and Cheshire went there on the rig. So
but it didn't get built until well after we'd finished skating.
Yeah, they've got like, well, we had a friend who went to uni there. We went to visit her twice with the intention of, it was kind of with the intention of skating the park and to see her, but mainly to skate the park. And both times we went, it rained like the entire weekend. Just ended up getting like hammered instead, which was bound to happen anyway. But it's got these like really long, like curved, mellow down ledge type things that look so good. But when you go to a skate park that's like where it's actually raining and so slippy, and you just stand there like, could have skated this if it was dry. Like, when we had to get a train there, it was before we were driving and stuff like that. Like,
well, that was
so disappointing.
When I first started the only skate park, this is before Airborne opened up, there was K-Zoo, Skate Zoo in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is like, I'm going to do this over here, and I'm here. So it's like a 2-hour drive away. Kalamazoo is where Western Michigan University is. And so my buddy's dad drove us out there, and we like stayed in a hotel for, you know, Best Western for a night or whatever. And then like we could barely skate because we were only skating for like 3 months at the time, and we didn't know how to skate park at all. And I can't tell you how many times I fell on my ass. But and then Airborne opened up, and then we used to go there. But even that was 45 minutes away from us. And the only reason we skated as much as we did is because that same buddy, his dad that took us out to K-Zoo, his brother lived over there, so he would drive us out there and then go like leave us at the park and then go hang with his brother. You know, it was an excuse to go hang with his brother. So he was like, we were fortunate. It just kind of worked out that way. But we didn't, you know, back then, you know, none of us were working, so we had to scrape up our allowance money, you know, because everyone was still like, I think it was like $10 to get in that back then in 1997 money, you know, so it was like for 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, like, shit, I don't have this kind of, you know, so we'd go there and then skate, you know, once a month maybe, you know.
Yeah, it was a big deal, like going to a day trip to a skate park was like a big thing.
Like, the opposite of what today, I was like, skate park clips, I was always like, hell yeah, because I was like, they were so rare, like, you know, I was like, I want to skate a mini. Actually, that was my
when I first fell in love with inline was at a skate park in Cornwall. I'd been on holiday with my mate, just like normal, like typical British, like seaside holiday. This be 98, 99, something like that. Huge indoor wooden skate park, which was like, it was like mind blowing at the time because we'd never even been to like even a real skate park of any kind. This thing was crazy. I completely fell in love with inline because we went up to the top of the vert ramp. They got an indoor vert ramp, and me and my mate Max got our skateboards and we kind of stood at the top, like looking over the edge, like, shit, that's really scary. Like, are you gonna go? Are you gonna go? Trying to egg each other on for like half an hour, like not plucking up the courage to try it. And these two lads on inlines, I mean, I couldn't even tell you what skates they had now because it's going back a long way, but just flew past, dropped straight in. One went up the other side, did like a misty flip or something. I was like, whoa, this is like next level. Like, we've been pushing these stupid wooden boards around, thinking like, this is hard. And then I watched these guys just flying around. I was like, wow. And I never got any skates after that because I asked my mum and dad and they said no, and I didn't really have any money, so kind of that was that. And I thought about that for a long time. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I got back into it and thought,
that is mad.
That was cool, and it still is cool. Like,
stuck with you. You can tell. The way your face looked when you were telling that story.
For real.
You know,
whoever that was, who won't be listening to this.
Thank you. I got skates like 20 years later.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was Airborne had a big metal vert ramp, and I dropped in on that a couple of times, and then it was so damn scary.
Is that the one Feinberg like transferred out of into the boat?
Yeah, which I've mentioned that to you guys a few times. I think that is insane that he did that in real life. Like, that gap was freaking enormous, and I don't care that you can see his hand kind of grab the railing. I don't care that he did that. That still
I never
counts in my
noticed
book
that.
you can see it, but because he was going to bottom out otherwise, he would have hit the bottom of the bowl. And by the way, there was a spine mini that had a mini spine and then another spine into the bowl, and like best mini ever, hands down, best mini I've ever skated. They say Cloud 9 at Woodward is the best mini. It's not. The Airborne mini was the best mini ever. 5 feet tall or 6 feet tall. 5 feet tall, and it had the best transition, but it was a double spine into the bowl, and the bowl was like a perfect. You could pump like around the bowl, and like with the scented aluminum grind plates, like I backsided or UFO'd like almost around 3 corners. Like I think I got 3 corners. I was trying to do the whole thing, but it was just never gonna work. But that was so much fun. I love that bowl. It was so much fun even just pumping around and just trying to get as much speed as you could. And like you could like air into the mini and go back over the spine, and like and they had the little the taller part of the extension in the mini, and then the other side they had the little rollover for the spine too, so you can just roll over instead of having to jump over the spine. So it was that mini. Oh God, I missed that mini. And it's cool because the owner too was rollerblade like friendly. It was like a rollerblading park. Everything was had round coping. There was very little square stuff there. And actually, I don't remember really ever seeing like skateboarders there. I mean, I know they were there, but it was overwhelmingly inline, which was I now realize how spoiled we were. Because like even people outside of Detroit are like,
is that where Bittercold was?
No, I think that was at Monter, I believe. I don't know. It was. Yeah, I think it was. If you watch VG's 6 and 9, the Sunshine Tour rolls through there.
Yeah.
And then they had the 14-foot vert wall. I dropped in on that once. That was terrifying. It was like 4 feet of vert. I was like, we all had to do it once just to do it. And then I was like, I'm never doing that again. Yeah. So scary. But I have this, I'm never going to forget, I have a scar right here. They had hip transfer and my skate caught and I fell, and thank God my teeth didn't go through. Almost went through. I had 23 stitches in my mouth between here and inside, and then on my tongue, which my tongue is still, it never healed. There's still like a split there. It's healed, split open. So that was my photo. My bloody face was my photo for when I walked in, when I checked in every time. Because the guys working there were like, one of them guy who was, I know he was sponsored, and I can't remember, but there was a local wheel company, or a Mark Thomas. He was super dope. I think he was an instructor too up at Lake Owen when that was open up in Wisconsin. Like that was in the Woodward family. But anyways, he was like, for whatever reason, he always liked me, and he was like, we got to get your photo. And that was my photo, like my bloody face, waiting for my dad to drive 45 minutes to get me so I can go get stitches in my mouth. So that was fun. And it was, I did it because my skate clipped and I fell 6 feet, and I tried to catch myself, but my arms just gave out, and my face just smacked the cement.
I did that once. Not that bad, luckily, but I kind of fell like on forwards off a stair set, like kind of going to jump it like Danny, like Danny Beer, obviously not as big, like just gaps as far as he can off a stair set. Did that off like a 5 set or something like that. We were just seeing how far we could jump, but we like fell forwards like onto the side of my face.
And there's nothing a helmet can do when you hit here.
Probably didn't have one on, to be fair. And it just like scraped all the skin off, but that was all it did. But it looked horrendous. And I was going to meet like my girlfriend at the time, her parents, for like the first time that night. So I just turned up, and they were just like, "Oh, like, what's wrong with you?" Like,
were you like, you should have seen the other guy?
Yeah, it just looked like some sort of disease or something like that. But probably one of my worst bails. That, to be fair, like that sticks out in my mind anyway. But.
Yeah, that was the worst one I ever did. The only other one I had was I fractured my right wrist, and it was the handrail that handicap rail that I sold in my little edit thing that I did. Like 2 summers ago, we were skating there back in, it was 98, September 98. I remember that. So I was going into my sophomore year, and I just missed the trick, and my forearm hit the rail like that and fractured my wrist. But I didn't go to the hospital because I was like, oh, that hurts really bad. And I just thought like I bruised it. So I went through school the whole next day. And as the day went and I was writing, I was like, I could see it like starting to get really swollen. And I was like, Mom, Dad, you want to take me to the up to the emergency room? And so they took me in there, and they're like, yeah, you fractured. And of course the guy pulled me aside, the doctor pulled me aside. He's like, because my dad took me, and he was like, did he hurt you? I was like, no. And I'm like, do you see we're like the same size? I'm like, no.
No, but he's gonna.
and I didn't want to explain rollerblading to him, so I was like, yeah, I did a skateboarding and hit the rail, and he was like, oh, the injury's consistent with that, and it was just a hairline. I only had a cast on for like 2 weeks, and I skated the entire time I had the cast on too. So I was like, I was like, this isn't good. That's an arm. If it was a leg, that's a different story. But I can, I can skate still. So somewhere there's clips of me skating handrails with a cast on my right arm. They made me wear like a brace for like a few months after that too, which I was like, Bricks cards, no, because that was 1998 and we thought we were cool. So much fun though. I know. Thankfully, I haven't hurt. Well, actually, I was this morning too. My shoulder still doesn't feel right ever since January. It's still
I forgot about that.
It's still tender. It's still funky. I was throwing the football around in the backyard with Ben the other day, and I was like, "Oh, ow, this hurts really bad." And I'm like, so then I went and did my golf swing, and I was like, "Uh-oh, I don't know if I'm gonna golf this summer." So yeah, hopefully it's just every once in a while, like I'll move it a certain way still, and I'm just like, "Oh, ow, don't do that." It's just more of like a nagging soreness. It's not really necessarily a sharp pain per se, but it's there for sure. Certain movements. Sometimes if I come off a trick weird and I'm like, you kind of get all flailing.
Yeah, you can feel that.
I'll feel it, and I'm like, I was talking to somebody, I forget who, and they said they had something similar happen, and it was like a solid year before they felt right again.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, I'll see you guys next winter then, provided I don't aggravate it again, which is entirely possible.
Yeah, true. So, get super excited when you can skate a new spot again or go to a skate park again and injure something. Well,
if we can ever skate again, I'm, hopefully going to be working on a part, but.
Yeah, well, that was my intention this year, but I mean, there's plenty of time. I think we're going to film like a local scene, kind of like edit over the rest of the year.
That's sick.
From whenever we can start again.
My buddy that did that rolled up bit they're filming. They started filming already. They keep going out. Actually, the guy Matt that did it, and I did the shadow unboxing. I linked that in the Slack too. He actually was diagnosed and recovered from COVID. So I was like, well, maybe I can skate with you because you've already had it, so you're probably immune.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
They're just going to skate street spots. But again, they always go out and they don't really hit me up for that for whatever reason. Mostly because I just usually when they go, it's not a good time for me. And he's a dad, so but he's divorced, so he only has a kid every other weekend. So I'm like, well, you have a free weekend every other weekend to go skate for all day if you want, Yeah. I'm like, well, I don't have that luxury. So.
No, same. Yeah, if I do skate, if we want to go like somewhere further afield or skate on a weekend, it's kind of got to be planned in advance. And then
that's what I'm always like. If you guys let me know a week ahead of time, I'll be able to go. I just got to you just got to let me know. Just this off the cuff stuff, it's like I can, unless it's in a few mile radius. I usually only have 3 hours, and I don't. Part of the reason I always skate the same couple parks is because I don't want to spend half my time that I have to skate driving. It's like it's counterproductive for me, considering it takes me a half hour to get warmed up, anyways. So it's like then I might go.
Last year, it was last year. I probably skated our skate park on like 90%, if not more, of the sessions, but it's just because it's there. Everyone can meet there at whatever time. Yeah, and there's something for everyone, and it's easy. Like you don't have to go out hunting for spots, and you don't have to travel far. So, like you say, you get more time just skating. But so barring if I don't get a chance to actually film, but I want to do it before I start getting too old. That's my main thing, and I never did a solo part, but I do want to do stuff with other people, and I think. Brandow's supposed to be coming up here to skate with Brian Weiss and stuff. And I was like, well, if you come up here, hit me up, let me know. I'll meet up with you guys. I was like, if you have like a friend section or whatever, I'll try to get at least one clip. Yeah, definitely.
I'll go a little harder just to get in something like that, than I would in something for my own or whatever. Because I'm like, well, this might actually be seen by more people than just like you guys.
There's always that feeling,
like, all right, I'll boss up, like that's what like when they were doing some of the haunted wheel stuff around here. I never got a chance to get out with them, but I was like, a couple of my buddies did, and I was like, damn it, if I was going to meet up with them, I would have like done a rail or something,
yeah, definitely.
So
what was I going to say? Yeah, the community challenges and the game of Blade have been good for making you go out and skate. Like I've kind of dropped off the community challenge just because didn't want to do them on just.
To be fair, you weren't really doing a lot of those to begin with.
Not really. No, I've done.
I'm giving you this
some.
look of like.
I have done some. There was a time when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fully get on this, and then I was even in like some of the announcement videos, which was cool.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just not that juiced off the trick. I think that's maybe why. But
yeah, this time I actually did the beginner trick again, just because I was like, well, I want to get a Mizzou just because.
Yeah,
but lately, the beginner ones, I'm like, I've already done these. And, like,
yeah.
You know, and to be fair, front sides these days spook the hell out of me. I'd much rather Royale than a front side because it's just I don't do them often enough. So when it comes up and it's like do a front side, I'm like, oh shit, you know.
You kind of learn it first or thereabouts, and then don't really bother with it after that. Like
the first
you learn
year,
a lot more stuff.
I did a ton of them because there wasn't that many tricks. That was still, you know, late 95, early 96. Like we had front sides and back sides.
That's what you did.
Yeah. I learned on 3-wheel because my feet were small, Bauer hockey skates, and the frames were like this tall. And I didn't think to take out the middle wheel. I just grinded between the 2 and 3.
God.
I learned how to Royale.
You're on tri-skates before they were cool then.
Yeah. I learned how to Royale in those things in soul grind.
You were the Sam Cross at the time.
I was just going to say, did you see that clip of him in the Next with the 90 mil?
Doing the Royale and the handrail? It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was like a kink rail too.
Kink, yeah.
Dude.
He's just mental, yeah.
Last year he did the back salve on 125s or something in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insanity.
And he royaled a kink in 3x125s.
Wild.
That's crazy. There's a dude here, Alex, that has been on them skates with Trimax frames with the no middle wheels and was skating modern and all winter 100 mil wheels.
That frame height.
Dude, he was Royale and he was, you know, doing
that's just insane. Like
he's crazy good. He's crazy good. He's like
having like 3 Valo frames like stacked up.
Yeah. he did like a flat 3 over the big launch box that terrifies me in those things, and like he's crazy good. He has like 2 or 3 Instagrams. One of them is like Alex, and then his last name or his first name backwards, Alex Zayla or whatever. Alex, but it's, anyways, he's crazy good. Like he does stuff like that, and you're just like, although he finally just got some Genesis, some used Genesis the other day. He posted, he's like first time back on regular aggressive skates. He's like, it's a lot easier. I'm like, duh. Like, but he's that good. Where I'm like, all right.
I think there's a guy who's always at winter class who's got those G boots.
G boots, the brown ones.
Okay. Yeah, with Trimax. He might actually have the middle wheel in. I can't remember, but I think when like Shizlan first joined Slack, he wanted to have like the biggest wheels he could on the outside with it on a freestyle for him. He's still a little bit in that mindset, I think. But
I told you, we had that conversation like a month ago or a few weeks ago. I want those throne 80s with the slim lines. Yeah, like I want to skate those. If I could find it, there's that one dude, that Sanzanoff dude, that Russian dude has them, but they're like $300. And I'm like,
it's a cool color.
So
it was a nice skate. Yeah.
Mostly I just want the boot only, but I like the way that 80 looks on there. But I would take those boot only in 5 seconds.
I would like to, I'd like to skate thrones again. There's a pair of Lomax thrones on eBay at the moment, but they're 125 quid. But they do come with featherlights and like 8 ground control wheels, which obviously are the best, but they look like really good condition, but it's just a bit too much to pay for something.
My buddy Morgan, that lives close here, was selling the blue thrones a little while ago, size 7 too. I was gonna get those. I was gonna get them, but it was he sold them to somebody else on Blade Trade. But I was like, Morgan, if you still have them by this date, I'll buy them off you. I'm like, I just don't have the money right now. I was like, I just don't have extra cash right now, and they were sold. And I was like, I kind of wished I would have just bit the bullet because they were in pretty good shape too. Like,
I think it's one of those skates they discontinued just because people were kind of bored of it, rather than because there's anything with it.
I heard the molds aren't there, but they're still making. They're still making the wakeboard boots that was based off in the first place.
But I think it was just they wanted to launch the Aeon, and people were still obsessed with the throne.
I'd be surprised if there's a throwback one at some point.
Yeah, if they came out with just a black throne, like they're making that kids one, and like if they made that, I would get that. 5 seconds, I would get one.
Can you not fit in the kids one?
No. My feet aren't that small. I think it's like a 5.5. If it was 6.5 to a 7, I'd be able to fit it. If I had size and a half higher, I'd be able to get it.
Did you see Lomax skating his old Pro Throne.
Yeah.
But because he's obviously back home in Manchester and must have been like just in his garage or something like that. But yeah, it just looked like instantly at home on them again for some reason. Like,
and someone for whom a P rail is just not enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
yeah.
I will say this: when a month or two ago, when I skated those Bing Airs that I have, those really old ones, like they were floppy, but I was like, I remember these. You know, it was one of those like.
To me, Lomax is still like all about like just the Throne guy, like like a few other people like Rashard and even Julio to an extent.
It was like I just saw something when I dipped into Facebook for the first time in a while the other day. Somebody was like, Sagona's looking for Thrones, and I'm like, I can't see him skating in, and I don't even like him in the UFS, like the flat, the flat sole back ones. I'm like, no, I need like 99 Forest Fire Sagona and Thrones. I'm like, his style in skating dickies,
so
you know.
good.
Yeah. Feinberg skated him at Blake Cup, didn't he? He had the yellow killer beat.
Yeah. He'll always be solid to me though. Like Feinberg for me, it's the blue.
Maybe to me as well. Yeah, for some reason, even though like Words was all Throne. Throne stuff, but that was funny, like seeing that Jason Reduta, that he's been back, you know, he's skating the Gray Them skates. But I commented on his thing. I was like, it's weird seeing you not in white Fifth Elements, because there was like 3 years of him skating for Rosas. You know, in like the late '90s. You know, during my time. What did he skate in? He had a section. No, maybe not a section, but like no, he did have a section in VG17, I think.
Okay.
But I can't remember what skates he was skating in that.
No, he had a section in VG11, and he was skating Fifth Elements. Or no, Solomons. He was skating Solomons. The very light tan ones, whatever those ones are.
Oh, right, okay.
Maybe was it VG11? I think he had a section in VG11. I don't know. I should know that. I've seen that movie about 100,000 times.
Yeah, that one's really good. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I screen recorded the visual aid section, the last section for that song that I've been trying to find forever. They credited it as Swam SOS, but I found out it's actually Swamburger SOS. But the song is nowhere to be found. So I'm gonna rip it, do that, YouTube to MP3 thing.
Yeah.
Strip the video off.
I want the video, and what's great is that section. Dave Payne didn't put any of the skate sounds in it. It's just the song, and the skate sounds are all muted. So I'll be able to actually finally have that damn song. I've been only trying to find it for 22 years.
There was some songs that I always wanted that were just like so impossible to get, or you just never heard of. There was a song on what was it on? VG20 credits, and it was actually Brooke Howard-Smith and Latimer like singing and rapping. It was actually really good. Like, and I always wanted it. Yeah, but obviously back then there was no way of getting it.
I want the Brooke Howard-Smith acoustic Sublime Jailhouse that he did in one of the Wasteland, I think, or something like that. You know, I was like, oh man, that version. Oh man, just record that. Like, you know, go back in time and record the whole thing.
He was quite a good singer, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He did Coup d'Etat credits as well. He did him and Ezequiel did some stuff on that as well, like after the credits.
I had an idea of taking. I had this idea over the winter, taking, like, just kind of doing monthly little skate park edits or whatever, but taking songs that I loved from skate videos and from sections, and just putting those songs in there. I don't know how well received that would be, but I would,
I think it'd be all right.
Very clearly know, like, hey, I'm doing this to honor this video. Like, like one of them is Brian Smith's section in Night of the String. This is a song by the Born Jamaicans, and it's like this R&B song, but it has a break beat behind it, and it's like, I send you my love with a dozen roses, and like I found the song and I'm like, I want to use that. Like, that'd be so sick.
I think that's all right. Like, obviously,
and like say, hey, this is an homage to Brian Smith's Night of the String, you know, and to do one with like just random songs that I just loved, do a Iron Man, Ghostface through the Josh Petty, VG7, like, just to do that kind of stuff of like
they played that section at Winter Clash, and
how could you not? I mean, that's a
very well received. Yeah.
Did they play the joint mini view with Dustin and Kevin?
No.
VG6. Oh, I'm surprised. That gets overlooked because it's early Dustin.
There was some that you were like there was nothing from VG19. I know that's like after your time, but it was that is like iconic.
I still haven't seen that one yet. I've seen
you
20.
need to watch that.
I saw everyone up to 17. I haven't seen 18. I haven't seen 19. I've seen 20, and then I haven't seen any after 20.
18's good, but it's a Battle My Crew. But there's some good skating in it.
Those ones, the 12 and 18. I've only watched those once or twice because 12 came out right as I stopped, and I was pissed that I wasn't in the Detroit one because I wasn't really friends with those guys, and so I was kind of like, fuck you guys, and I don't want to see this because I was bitter that I wasn't in it.
Well, Dave Payne was talking like about how, like, I didn't know this, but he wasn't the only person behind VG and stuff like that. In
the beginning, no, it was Sean Tomlin and a few other guys. He didn't take over until Battle My Crew, I think, was his first one that he took over. Well, that's
what he said, and obviously, like, at the time, I think he didn't have the money to, like, carry on doing it. But he also wanted to like expose other filmers, and
it was a great idea. Like, it's a sick idea. I'm just bitter because I wasn't in the Detroit section. That's all.
I've seen that one, but not as much as because there was 12, 15, and 18 Battle My Crews, wasn't there? But I had 15 and 18, but I didn't have 12. But 16 and 19 are the East Coast ones.
Okay.
Like, in my opinion, like two of the best. But 19. Yeah,
I found it always comes down to like the ones that you saw during your most impressionable time.
Yeah, like,
when you were heaviest into it.
Yeah, 16 had Murder, like Mike Murder Johnson and Dustin Halloran, like split section, and then went into their own separate section. So it was about 10 to 15 minutes of just them, and when no one had really heard of them like much, and they were like doing like 5 switch-ups on handicaps, which was, before that, was like seen as a bit like boring or whatever. Like, it was when it first was a thing.
It was mind-blowing.
Yeah, absolutely blew my mind, and then 19 was like Farmer's breakout section, Cheshire's, Walt Austin had a section, some other people as well.
Yeah.
And then montages with like the Kelso brothers and basically anyone on the East Coast kind of thing. But yeah, it's worth a watch.
I just got to find them. I want to find them whole online because you can find them from that Rolling Classics and stuff, but the quality isn't great. So, it's just a matter of finding them good, because I don't want to, like, my first time seeing them, I don't want to do disservice by watching a shitty quality rip and then having to go, like, there's a few, like Plastic Balance, and I've gone to rewatch that a couple of times from 97. That's one of Dave Temple and one of Joe Navrin's first ones, mostly Dave Temple, but you can only find it in sections, and you have to like kind of hunt it. They don't line up in your next video. You have to like go back and go, and I'm like, that's annoying.
I know what you mean.
Saltless Waters like that, and that's one of my favorite videos. I have that on VHS here. I just need to get hook my VHS player back up and watch that proper, because that's one of my. We were supposed to have a clip in that one, but we missed the deadline to send it in because the guy gave me bad information. We were supposed to mail a VHS tape to Chicago, and but we got misinformation on the deadline, and we mailed it to him, but it was past the deadline, which bummed me out because they have a little Detroit section in that one. So, but I don't know if you've ever seen that video, but it came out in '98.
Yeah, maybe.
It's really good. You can find it online in pieces, but it's got a lot of Mike Choley, who's super sick.
Yeah, he was in like VG 9, 8, 9, 10 a lot, wasn't he?
Yeah, and
maybe before
8 through 11. Yeah, and then he had some clips in Elements and Elements 1 and 2 and some of those ones.
He skated like the Brown Solomons for a lot of that. I think.
Yeah, and the Black and K2s, the ones that came after the fatties. My brother had them. The ones that turn, style points. The ones that turn purple after time.
Yeah. Just mentioning, you mentioned Joe Navron. Did you see that him and Petty are starting a podcast?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting for sure.
I will say,
Petty's not doing anything for his reputation at the minute, I don't think.
No.
I think he loves it, doesn't he?
Just a very strange way to be, I think.
Joe Navron, to me, at least during my time, made some of the best videos, and he picked the best music in my opinion. Like Millennium, I always say is my favorite video, and it is because all the songs in that video are pretty bang on.
But he was, if he was blessed with the place and the people at the right time.
Yeah, I was, I always wanted to do the FP.
Yeah.
Like
it was just. Yeah, like at the time, I was fully like, I would just absolutely idolized like Petty and Shane Scower and Sigona and Rashard, etc. But
you remember when Medium got in a lot of hot water with Shane Scower's pro wheel that had his initials SS, and they were in very Nazi-like SS thing?
Yeah,
that was a big deal. In fact, I don't think those wheels ever came out, or if they did, they got shelved. Oh, he like some of the sickest style ever.
The best style ever, almost. Yeah, and kind of like overlooked.
Him and Prislin, same style, like
came up together, kind of thing. But what was I going to say? Yeah, and like Rashard came to the UK to like a competition here, and I met him there at the height of my like Rashard like fanboyism, and it was just like the greatest moment of my life at the time. And I got a picture with him. I'll have to try and find it, but
that's sick.
Yeah, like at the time, like Rashard was my favourite skater, and Future Rollerblading 2 was my favourite video and stuff like that. But looking back,
I gotta watch that one still.
Yeah, that's really good. Frankie and Rashard have like great sections in that.
I haven't found. That's another one. I found it. It's online, but the quality is so bad.
Abdil as well has a great section in that.
Yeah,
to a Deltron song. But yeah,
madness.
Looking back, it's like his filming isn't great. And like you say, he picks good songs, and he has.
It was the songs that made it. It was the songs and the skaters.
Like, you couldn't make a bad video if you had that combination. But
all I think of was Joe Navran, and when I was doing the live thing for the what was it, Elements 2 on Jump Street or whatever. I was doing the live broadcast or whatever, and literally every comment was, "Yeah, Josh. Yeah, Josh." That's all I hear sense in every clip. It's so funny. Even Joe Navran was like, "God, how many times am I going to say, yeah, Josh?" So funny. One thing I noticed when I rewatched Elements 2 that even though I've seen that a billion times, the ender trick, Louis' ender trick, is it's filmed at night. You don't realize it. He does a true spin negative porn star in 1999 in K2s. Yeah, they show it twice.
I need to watch it again. Yeah.
And I think I realized it back then, but I didn't realize it was true spin, I think. And I'm like, damn, that trick was like way ahead of its time, to do that in early 99. Yeah, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And there's certain ones like the beginning of VG5, the intro to that, Corey Miller does like a 360 unity on a skate park handrail. And it's like, whoa, when you see it.
Someone posted that not long ago, didn't they?
Yeah. And I remember, like, I remember being wowed by it in the beginning, but then I realized, like, now with hindsight, like, damn, that was like way ahead of its time. We were still wearing Jinkos, and he's doing like that. That's crazy.
Watching videos back in the day didn't really like you said, there was like, say, like a Macchio or variation or a soul or alley whatever, and you just kind of watched it and thought, yeah, that was sick. And now you kind of appreciate, he's just done that one way, and now he's done it the other way, and now he's doing true spin kind of thing. Like,
I think that's what I like about, and why I watch the older videos too a little bit. I think it's because I try to find these little things in there, and especially because I've seen them so many times, I can look for the little things now. And
you can miss that first time, but actually you see how
the first 100 times
the skill is.
And then you're like, and then you also think now with hindsight, you're like, damn, they were doing that on TRSs. If you watch like Mr. Moose Knuckle and watch Brian Bell, rest in peace, B Bell, doing kink rail, 10 flat, 10 flat, 10 flat, curvy kink rail, doing rail transfers in Lightning TRSs.
Because that's what they had like to work with. But we're spoiled these days. But an M12 now with the actual UFS like soul play on is like far bigger than anything they had back then. People know about how small it is.
When I got my Sways 3 years ago and I held them up to my Bing Airs, the negative sole on the Sways was bigger than the sole on the Bing Airs. At least after I ground it down and from missing tricks and all that. But I was like, I'm never gonna miss any tricks. I remember thinking I still miss tricks, but I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, this is insane. And I remember like texting my brothers because they obviously skated at the same time, and I was like, oh my god. And they were like, oh my god. I texted them pictures and they were like side by side, and they were like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like crazy. So I don't know if it's getting too late for you guys. I don't know.
I'd probably better go soon. But...
Yeah,
we're getting dinner going right now too.
Cool. What time?
So
it's
5:20 for us. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's actually going to want to watch this back, but it's fun anyway.
I might watch it.
I will. When I've done my little solo ones, and when I do this ones with Steve Johns, which we haven't done that in a while, we need to get back to that. But
I'll watch it back and find all these videos we've just been talking about and watch them all.
I've listened,
for sure.
Listened back to them a couple times just to make sure I don't like say something stupid, and then and then I forget about them. But yeah, it's easier with the 15-minute ones. I'm like, okay, I can sit through this. Through this.
Yeah, I mean, what are we on here for the call now?
Hour and a half or something?
Is it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Stuart, if you don't have it already, I'll send you a link to that where I go. My go-to to watch all of them is that Blade Video Archive.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
Okay,
I do follow that. Yeah, I haven't worked my way through it. There's still lots on there I haven't seen, but
they're higher quality rips of them. Like Millennium is really high quality.
Yeah, that's where I watch
all the VGs. Yeah. There's a few on there that I still haven't watched yet, like the
VGs. I try to do in order, but it's kind of weird if you watch them in order. Like you start with that VG1, it's like it's almost hard to relate to because it's so early.
Yeah, it's hard for me to. I watched those a couple of times just to say that I've watched them. Like, I start with anything. VG3 is what I start with.
3+, yeah.
But even that I don't watch that much. Really, it's VG4 is like when it gets modern, because that's when you first topsides and Jason Marshall section, and he does the first like alley far side soul on a handrail and that, and like it's the music gets better.
Sections and stuff, and it's actually like put together rather than just big pile of clips.
Yeah, they showed like parts of VG1 and 2 at that Winter Clash thing, but it was kind of like a lot of heavy slams and like stuff like that. Like, got a few laughs, but that was about it. And then the occasional, I think, didn't Tony Hawk have a clip in like the first one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Thought so. But yeah, it wasn't until sort of 3 where it got to kind of what it is as we know it now.
Yeah, when it took shape with the actual sections and profiles.
Exactly.
VG3 is good though because it has Eric Schrine's section, and it's like Eric Shrine has no switch or whatever. Which I always love. Which he's best top assets ever, and every once in a while he likes my Instagram photo of a top asset. And I'm like,
yours remind me of his.
That's why I do him that way. That's why I do him that way, because it's I'm totally ripping his style off, But it's just
incredible. He had a section that you probably won't have seen, and he looks completely different. He had a section in the physics video, and he was skating. He was skating his K2 Pro model, if you even know that he had one.
No, I had no idea.
He had like a black and silver K2 Pro model.
Weird to see him skating K2s. I don't think he ever skated those back in the day.
It was the same kind of model as the K2 like transfer and like the Pat Lennon model. It was a really weird looking K2. But yeah, I'm just gonna find that section. I've just sent you the other one in our message on Slack that I was talking about with the like those two creative brother guys. But, there's a lot of I've just had a flick through it, and there's a lot of just random scenery shots as well. So just skip through it. But
yeah, hell yeah, no, that's awesome. I just love seeing some of my heroes still going. Like I posted in Slack this morning for me. Seeing Scotty Crawford do, soul grind a handrail in his IG stories. Yeah, it's like, dude, and that gives me hope to be still skating at somewhat of a high level at 45. Yeah, exactly. Nowhere near his level of skating, but at least it gives me hope. There's a dude in Akron, Craig, who's 46 now, and he's not still on. He's been on Flow for Razors forever, or for Rems. That's all he skates is Remedies. But he's amazing. Like 2 or 3 years ago, he came up. It was like Christmas Eve or whatever. We skated modern, and there's this like flat rail that terrifies the hell out of me. Down, it's like on a down box, and or on a down, whatever slant, and he just goes up and misfits it, and I'm like, okay, like he's crazy good, crazy good.
It's funny how like some people are just die-hard Rems people, and like there isn't many of them, but.
Well, that's the thing is he's 46 and he hasn't stopped. He started skating in 1992 and never stopped. So he's just good, he was already, it's I think he told me he had a one clip in VG3 or 4. I've watched it and tried to find it, but I think they might've got his name wrong or something like that. 'Cause
probably
Dave was really good at getting people's spelling names wrong and missing them and getting them wrong. But It wouldn't surprise. I mean, I don't know why he would lie about that. So
no, definitely not. Yeah.
So
yeah. Dave Payne. Have you met him?
No, not at all. Never met him. But we're like internet friends. He like comments on my stuff occasionally, and like we've DM'd a couple times a little bit. And I'm like, Dave Payne kind of sort of knows who I am. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like on his quarantining the crates thing, I'll pop in and he'll wave, and then I'll say, "Hey, at Jeremy," and or whatever. And I'm like, holy shit. Like,
he was really nice, really cool. Like that was like another highlight. Chislan and him and Julio, but like. We were up on a balcony and he was like just down these steps near the bowl on his own, no one around him at all, and just kind of like looking really happy, but not speaking to anyone. I was like, I was a few beers in at this point. I was like, I'm going to speak to him, like, and I was just like,
you have to.
When it went up to him, I was just like, thank you, like that was it, and he was just like, oh, like you're welcome, kind of thing, and then asking me like, what was my first VG and favorite VG and stuff like that. It was just like. Weird meeting someone like that in person.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
it's kind of like you meet, say, I don't know, whoever, like John Fromm or whoever, like he's famous, but he's not like legendary. There's only a few people on that level, I think.
Yeah. In another sport, Dave Payne would be a multimillionaire, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, for us, it's like meeting, Spielberg or something, like a famous director, it'd be like, okay, I just met M. Night Shyamalan or something, and it's like, but it's putting in those terms, like that was like at Woodward when we were taking the group photo. I think I've told the story, and Lawrence like talking to we walked in together, and then Lawrence sees Julio and starts talking to him, and I kind of faded back, so I was like, I don't want to be that weirdo guy, like, can I get in the conversation, looking over his shoulder, and then I turned around and I was talking to somebody else, and I tug on my shirt, and it was Lawrence. Hey, John, have you met Jeremy? And I was like,
no.
it's kind of shook his hand, like, don't say anything dumb,
Yeah.
And,
that's what. That was.
And then Lawrence proceeded to tell him about like the community challenge, and he's like, and Jeremy was, one of the ones that helped. Come up and John was like, "Oh, it's so cool, it's amazing," and like looking at me in the eyes. I'm like, okay, I can die now. Like, lightning bolt hits me and die. I'm like, all right, I'm good. Like,
I think when you speak to him like this, it was just after that. Like, I was talking to Dave Payne, and then Julio walked over. I was just like, fucking hell, just kill me now, like, and then after speaking to Julio, you just like literally like, I just want to buy like all your skates and like all your clothes and everything. Like, there's something about him.
I talked to him the night before that at the trade show thing, so I was asking questions about the 909, but there was like a zillion people there, so he's not gonna, I didn't expect him to remember me or anything. But it was me and Drew Smith that pops up on Slack every once in a while. We were standing there holding it, asking him questions and talking about the cuff and all that stuff. He's really nice from the few times that I met him.
It was.
Which is always good. It's always, they always say don't meet your heroes, because a lot of times people are assholes, but it's always nice, at least in the blading community, that, when I've the few people I've met that I'm like, oh, cool, you're actually nice.
Yeah. Like my best friend Rob G, obviously.
Yeah.
That was so surreal. Like I'll never like, I don't know. I've met him before as well, but before the
gunshot and everything.
The gunshot and everything. Yeah, like. He was at a skate park in the UK, Rampworks in Liverpool, and I was stood next to him watching the pro finals, which he wasn't skating, and chatted to him a little bit then, but it seemed like completely different this time, and he obviously seemed like a completely different person after everything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's going to change you, 100%.
Yeah. We'd been talking to Billy O'Neill, and he was kind of like, "Oh, just leave Rob alone. Like, he's had a tough day," kind of thing, doing the podcast and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But I was literally stood like right next to him, and I was like, I can't like not talk to him. So,
I just want to give a quick.
I said, "Is it all right to speak to you?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's fine." Like, so, and then I was like, "All right, okay, well, I'm gonna," sort of thing.
That was. I think I told the story too. What year is it too? I was like the first 5 minutes I was there, maybe 20 minutes I was there. I was skating this little cement bowl, and I came up, missed the topsoil or something like that. And I sat on deck, and I stood up, and John Ortiz was sitting right there, and I'm like, legend, the same thing though. Like, no, nobody else cares who he is, but I'm like, to me, I was like, and half the people there were young and I don't think understood what a legend he is,
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I'm like, Oxygen, backslides, perfect backslides, skated for medium, like, one of my heroes,
Yeah.
like, crazy, and he was like, I was like, I just want to say I'm, big fan, shook his hand and he was like, that's it, I'll let you go anyway. And I'm not trying to keep you or anything. I just want to say that I shook your hand, so whether anyone believes me or not, I don't really care. I know I met him. But anyways, I should probably go.
That was good. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, good talking to you guys.
Maybe next time we'll let Stuart talk a little more.
Yeah, I'll shut up next time.
You're fine, don't worry about it.
It's the Americans, they just talk over everyone, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Good luck getting me to shut up. I'm worse than most people.
Yeah, it was probably, I don't know, probably better off that it was just us three anyway. Anyone else might have got.
I think any more than that, it's too crowded.
Too many voices.
Yeah, but we should do it again. We'll
see that.
Just put it on whatever, and we can always watch it back, or we can decide if it's then worth other people listening to it.
Yeah, I'll do what you do, and I'll try to throw up on YouTube unlisted. And
cool.
Go from there. So
all right,
cool. All right, I'm gonna stop the
recording tomorrow anyway.
Catch you guys later.
Cheers.
See ya.